Alright guys, this is William Myers from Mantis Outdoors, and I've been getting a lot of questions today, and we're kind of going to go through and answer them as much as I can, so don't go away. Alright guys, so the questions that I've lately have been like inundated with is about the show alone. And a lot of questions come in when that, I mean even last year when the show aired, you know, I knew that it was on just because of the questions that I got. And 9 times out of 10, the only thing that I can say is that I'm not there, I'm not in that environment, I'm not under those stresses or rigors, so I don't know what I would do, and I really can't comment on what they did. But I did see something that did kind of strike me, and that's when Mary Kate, I believe, hit herself with the axe. And she hit herself in the axe doing something that I have preached for years not to do, and that's hold the wood and put your axe on it and then tap down it, because I've done it. It's a mistake that I've made myself, and you know, mistakes that I make and the lessons that I learn, I push back onto my viewers and my students. You know, I was holding a piece of wood like this and I was tapping it, and I didn't slip over it, but I went through it too fast, faster than I thought, and I caught my hand, and you can still see the scar. You know, it's a mistake that I've made in the past, so I don't do it anymore. And not to say that I don't use my axe for what an axe is used for, and that's splitting wood, or my knife, the same thing. I can see where people are coming from when they say, you know, I have one knife and I'm going to use my axe for what an axe is used for, splitting wood. And those smaller pieces of wood, there's a lot safer way to use it. So let's go over here. Alright guys, so if I'm going to do a small piece of wood like this, if I want to cut that in half, a couple things that a couple options I have. I can go to a big stump like this and I can flatten out an area, or I can put a chip in it like we've done over the years we've been coming back here. And then I could just cut it straight like this. You know, and that's going to make it pop. Or I could even hold it like this and I can split it just like that. But the way that she was doing it was axe top up here, and then, like I said, using the pressure of thumping it to go through it. And you know, if you want to do something like that, then just treat it like a knife, basically, like you're going to baton a knife. Pick up some wood, thump the back of the hammer pole. Then once you get it in, then you could take and, you know, go through the wood.
Problem is we're on this big cushy log.
Yeah, got a lot of stability to it. You know, you don't have to have, when I speak on knife safety and axe safety, it's pretty much the same thing. Don't put anything in the front of the blade that you want to cut. So don't put your hands here. You know, if you don't want it to get cut, don't put it in front of the blade. So let's move on to what I was talking about earlier. My axe is dull from this week of use. But you know, just having it flat just like that, I don't need to cut it just like this. I can go through it just like this. You might want to back up a little bit. You think you're okay?
I'm okay in the danger zone.
Okay. You know, simple. Then, as long as my axe is stuck in the wood, I can just pull the wood around. You know, I don't have to use my axe the way they were using it. And I'm not harping on them. You know, like I said, I'm not there, I'm not in their situation, but you know, I just stress it over and over and over again. If you don't want it cut, don't put it in front of the blade. So let's move on. You know, with an axe that has a smaller handle, you know, not a big camp axe like this, I don't want to be like standing as much as I can and chopping, things like that. If I'm going to do like chopping on small things like this, I'm going to get as low to the ground as possible. And the reason why, and as far away from the target as I possibly can. And one of the reasons why is that if I do have a miss hit or anything like that, it's just going to go off to the side or possibly go down to the ground. You know, I'm not going to get into my knees or my legs or anything like that. Another thing is use what you have. You know, if I have a piece of wood that my target is right here to hit, or maybe, well, I would probably hit it more in the middle. So I'm going to slide that up as far as I can. So again, in the event of a miss hit, I'm only going to come into the wood. I'm not going, and even then, I'm not going to come down into the ground, into my legs, anything like that. You just have to think before you use tools in the woods. We use very sharp implements, axes, knives, saws, things like that. Just keep mindful of what they can do to you in the woods, because we've been the only one time that I've ever had a really bad accident in the woods. It wasn't at a class of mine, it was at a class of someone else's, and they sunk an axe into their leg, and we had to pull them out. We had to drag them out about 5 miles to Adena Medical Hospital. It was a very, very bad scene. And you just have to be mindful of what you're using in the woods. These tools can hurt you.
And even when we're out here doing YouTube videos, I mean, I got the trauma kit right there for heavy bleeds and accidents and things like that. So there's something to be said about taking your medical kit seriously too.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, can't stress it enough. Guys, these things are very sharp. They can be very dangerous. If you're using them because you're out hiking, camping, whatever, you're away from civilization. So then you really have to be mindful of what you're doing. You're very far from help at that point. So,
and you won't be bleeding from an accident.
Accident, exactly. Alright guys, well, it's been William Myers, Mantis Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there's some more of my previous videos that are playing in the screens to my left right now. There's also a subscribe button over there. If you haven't done so, I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. To stay up to date with what I'm doing with my school and the YouTube channel, stay posted on the videos that are going to be uploaded. You can go to www.facebook.com/Mantis Outdoors, or you can go to www.mantisoutdoorsllc.com. Liking my videos helps me and my channel out a lot. I appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods.